Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to speak to you today about Bolivia. I'm very interested in Latin American affairs, and this is why I've chosen to talk to you about this particular topic. I think that interesting developments have taken place in Bolivia in the last few years, and I'd like to speak to you about two of them in particular. We will look at these changes and we'll look at how they will affect Bolivia's future. The first change was that in 2005, for the first time in the country's history, the winner of the presidential elections was from among the indigenous peoples of Bolivia. His name is Evo Morales, and he is still in power today. Secondly, discoveries of large amounts of lithium have been made in the country. Bolivia is now thought to have the largest lithium reserve in the whole of Latin America, or if not, the second largest. These two factors could lead to interesting changes in the future. In order to explain why, let me tell you more about the country. The majority of Bolivia's population is indigenous. The people are also very poor. The average income in the country is $4,000 a year. However, the country is very rich in terms of mineral wealth. The resources it has underground include tin, zinc, silver, copper, and gold. Bolivia also has large oil and gas reserves. Up until recently, these resources had always been exploited by foreign companies. Most of these firms were from Spain, but there were also some from Brazil, France, and the UK. In the early 2000s, the population decided to rise up and show their discontent. A number of conflicts ensued over resources such as oil and gas, but also water. The indigenous people saw themselves as excluded from the wealth that these resources generated. They felt that the private companies were making off with all the money. Partly as a result of this tension, Evo Morales was elected president in 2005. He decided to nationalize a number of sectors and renegotiated many contracts and prices. The state coffers then benefited from increased revenues from natural resources. Evo Morales has always been very vocal about his beliefs. Central to his views is the idea of the Pachamama. This word means Mother Earth. He believes that everyone should live in harmony with nature, and that the indigenous peoples should benefit from the resources on their land. So I've told you about the many natural resources that Bolivia has. But what about the more recent discovery of lithium? Why is lithium important, and what is it used for? Lithium is a metal which can be used in the production of glass, plastics, and a number of other products. However, its main use nowadays is in electric batteries. Batteries are becoming more and more widely used nowadays. Between 2003 and 2010, the number of mobile phones being used around the world tripled. Also over the same period, the number of laptops increased sixfold. This has had the effect of lithium prices rising in value threefold over the same period. However, there is another reason as to why the price of lithium could rise at an even faster rate in the future. Electric cars. Electric cars use very large batteries, and they could become more popular in the near future as our oil resources run dry. So, where is Bolivia's lithium to be found? Are there reserves across the whole of the country? Actually, no. Bolivia's new source of lithium is the salt flat named Salar de Uyuni. This is an extraordinary place. If you look it up on the internet, you will see spectacular images of a perfectly flat, perfectly white desert. The salt flat welcomes a huge number of tourists each year. It is under the surface of this plain that the huge lithium reserves are to be found. In order to exploit this resource, the Bolivian government has received a large number of offers of technical assistance from foreign companies. And all of a sudden, it seemed like history was repeating itself. However, this time round, Evo Morales is able to dictate the conditions to these companies. He says that foreign companies will be no more than technical partners. In this way, he hopes to keep the profits for the people. So the president of Bolivia is bravely standing up to large multinationals. But does Bolivia have enough technical expertise to exploit the lithium available? Also, what about the pollution caused by the mining process? The people may be happy with the profits, but the extraction of lithium could seriously damage the so-called Pachamama. I think this is a very interesting subject, and I hope to keep a close eye on the developments in Bolivia in the near future. Thank you.